Hello, I'm Jocelyn Metzger, owner of Sunshine Therapeutics and developer of the Balance Fit and Flexible Rider program that looks at you and your horse as a team. And in this, we look at not only your horse's health, including its strength, its feet, its teeth, making sure it gets regular vet checks, most importantly, the food that your horse is eating, but we need to look at ourselves in all those same capacities. That are we balanced nutritionally, physically, mentally? Are we fit physically, mentally, and nutritionally? And are we flexible physically, mentally, and nutritionally? And what does that mean to be balanced, fit, and flexible, just like our horses? First, we'll look at balance. A balanced rider and horse have the same characteristics, but we'll focus mostly on the rider since we've already focused a lot of our time on our horse's health, and they seem to be doing pretty well. So let's look at the balanced rider. First, we look at our body balance. That is our pelvis equal, that the right side is the same as the left side. Notice what happens when I lift the right side of my body. My right shoulder drops, my head is off, and I'm putting more weight through the left side of my pelvis. This could really wear on a horse. More than saddle fit, we should be looking at our own alignment to make sure that we're not sitting back too far, putting too much weight through the lumbar spine of the horse, that we're nice and aligned. We also want to look at our balance in terms of muscle symmetry. Are we yanking and pulling on one side of the horse more than the other? Or do we have symmetry on the right and left side of the body? For this, I love Pilates because that teaches me more awareness of the strength on the right and left side of my body and helps teach me how to engage that. I also like to use a balance board that has a pivot in the center, and when I stand on it, one side will teeter if I tend to be putting more weight through that. And I'll stand on this board, I'll sit on this board, I'll put my feet on the board when I'm laying on my back, as well as doing push-ups on the board. This way, I have awareness of the muscle symmetry throughout my entire body. The next part of balance is our physical balance. Simply, can we stand on one foot and hold our balance? Okay, are we recruiting from our core or are we recruiting from our legs and wobbling all over the place? Important things to think about. And of course, nutritionally balanced. That just as we make sure that our horses are getting the proper food, especially on a show day or a long trail ride day, we want to make sure that we are consuming healthy, nutritious food that will allow our body to exert the right amount of energy that we are demanding through our riding experiences. Now, the fit rider will look at your endurance and your stamina. Whether you do eventing or long distance endurance riding, even if you do trail riding or competitions, you need to have a good amount of endurance to wake up early in the morning, load that trailer, get the horse in, haul it to the show or the trail, then ride all day long, then repeat that same process in reverse of loading everything up, getting back to the barn and unloading everything, but still having to do barn chores. Okay, lifting those hay bales and those hay buckets. We got to make sure that we have a good amount of strength and endurance in order to do that. A good test to see how your endurance is to go over to the wall and simply sit against the wall, just like this, and see if you can hold that for 2 minutes. If you can hold it for 2 minutes, you're doing pretty well. If you can hold it for a minute, you're doing okay. Anything less than a minute, you may want to keep working on your endurance. Another option is to grab a stool, just like this one, or even a block, and march up and down it for 2 minutes. If you can do that with ease, you're doing pretty well. If not, just something to keep shooting for as you make your goal to become a balanced, fit, and flexible rider. Of course, we want to look at our mental fitness, our ability to be focused and to think quick. All right, and that comes in play with our proper weight and nutrition. That as we ride, we do want to look at the weight that we're carrying around and make sure that we're thinking about our horse as well as our own health. The next part of the balanced, fit, and flexible rider is to be flexible. And flexibility is most definitely physical. Okay, a simple flexibility test to see how flexible your hips are is to cross one foot over the other and see, can that leg easily do this? And then same thing on the other side, or does one side feel tighter than the other? Why this matters is because as you're riding, you want to be able to turn your leg in and out and move it in various positions without altering your upper body so that you can clearly communicate with your horse. Same thing with your upper body. Rotate one direction, then rotate the other. And make sure that you've got rotation equal on both the right and left side, because when we're cantering our horse, if I'm on the left lead, I need to put my right shoulder back just a bit and be able to rock along with the horse's canter. Same thing when I go the other direction, it has to feel equally as smooth for me to put my left shoulder back to get that right lead. Another test to make sure your upper body is loose and flexible is simply to bring one hand up and behind your back and touch it with the other hand. And then once again, repeat this on the opposite side, making sure that each side is equal on the right and left. That's our physical flexibility, making sure that our body can be supple and move with the horse, that we don't have any restrictions in our range of motion in any of our joints, and that our muscles are soft. Mental flexibility comes in terms of not letting anything get the best of us. This is where techniques called stress stoppers come in handy, where we've got songs that we listen to in our head that help remind us why we love to ride. And when the unexpected does happen, that our horse tends to have a moment of freaking out, that we don't completely lose it, and we're able to respond to our horse's behavior as opposed to quick reactions, which often aren't always the best option. Another stress stopper to think of is using visualization, that we visualize what our most perfect ride would be like. And we visualize what our more realistic ride would be like if our horse happened to have an incident. And then we can visualize a ride from a judge's perspective, or maybe an overly critical friend. And we make sure that we're understanding what they may be looking for, so it prepares us when we go out on a ride with that friend or into a competition. Anything that we can do to prepare ourselves for the unexpected is going to help us to be more mentally flexible when that unexpected does happen. And of course, nutritionally, being flexible means that we've planned ahead, which is just such a huge part in horseback riding, because it is a really high maintenance, demanding sport, but so rewarding. And if we can plan ahead, we can make this as enjoyable a time as we imagine it to be. And that is becoming a balanced, fit, and flexible rider, which makes you best friends forever with your horse, and your horse sees you as its best friend forever. For more information on the balanced, fit, and flexible rider, please visit sunshinetherapeutics.com and click on the BFF Rider link. I look forward to seeing you and helping you on your balanced, fit, and flexible rider journey.